guys, welcome back to my channel. So I know I haven't posted the last like 3 times, but it's because I wanted to do a special video for Mental Health Awareness Month. Sorry, which is my story, my personal story. And today I have one of my closest friends, Tina, aka Milk, because she was there throughout my whole story, kind of watching me. So I wanted to get her here so she can tell you the outside perspective of how she saw me and kind of just go from there. So Tina, do you have anything to say yet?
Welcome.
Welcome. So we're just gonna get started. I'm trying not to make this video too long, however it is a lot to cover, but just a heads up, this is why I started my YouTube channel, and I'll go over it again at the end, but this is why I started my YouTube channel. So this is my personal story on my life, depression, anxiety, all that good stuff. So let's just start. So I'm starting with, I think I was 17, and I joined a team. I'm not gonna say what team, but I joined a team, dance team, and it was so much fun. I have been on so many teams before, and I've never felt the connection on this team. She was on it with me too. That's how I met her.
That's how we met.
So I have never felt a strong connection, family connection on the team. And when, see, I forgot now.
You're good.
I need my notebook. Okay, guys. Okay, so we're starting on the team. Good, everything's good for a solid year. And I'm gonna mention that I was in a car accident, and I'm not gonna really go into that. I was in a car accident and I hurt myself. Just keep that in the back of your mind. I hurt my neck and I had to do therapy. Okay, that's whatever. Now we're going into back to the team. So me, Tina, and one of our other good friends, we were, what would you call us? We were just inseparable.
I thought you meant like the group itself. Like,
we called ourselves the Big Three.
I think one of the main reasons like we really bonded was because we just had different levels of just not caring. So
yeah, which fueled like a really bad way of reacting to people. I don't know, like honestly we were just so inseparable. However, we just didn't care about anyone. Like we didn't, if we hurt someone's feelings, we were like whatever.
We were like whatever. Fuck them. Like, or my bad, we can't cuss, huh?
No, we can.
Okay.
We're be real here.
I just feel like we were there for each other in a way, you know? And like if anyone else made us feel bad or anything, we were kind of always there to protect each other.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Just that kind of bond.
It was that type of bond where we had each other's backs to the point where like we wouldn't really necessarily see other people's point of view. We were like, if someone's being mean to us, we're gonna go back at them kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was honestly an unhealthy way of doing things. And in the time we didn't really see it. We were, 16, 17, we were just going crazy, kind of. We honestly were just crazy.
I think it was the age for sure too, though.
Age for sure. We've
matured. We're still kind of like crazy, but I think
but in a good way.
We
care about people
down.
now.
Yeah.
We care about people now. No, but honestly, at the time it was us three, and we would just be, I don't even know how you describe it. However, it was unhealthy to the people around us, which brings me into me losing my team. So I began to feel this pressure, feel this anxiety because of how much negativity. Our team, which was a family, super close family, started to break apart. We all started arguing with each other. And again, I take full responsibility for it. Looking back now, it's like, wow, I was really like crazy, or I just didn't care about people, which like sucks to like look back at it now. And how do you think we were
I think it was for sure a lot of like he said, she said kind of things too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think more than anything that kind of showed our true colors in a way of how we were. And I think that's when it snapped and it made us see like in a way how toxic we really were. Because it was funny to people at first.
That's the word, toxic. That we were honestly just toxic. That's the word I've been looking for.
Yeah, like
we were toxic.
It sucks to say, but I think it's good that we have matured enough to realize that. And I think us going through experience, I don't like what's the word I'm trying to look for? I don't regret like going through that. Because I think it for sure made us who we are today.
Exactly, yeah. So, moving on, like I said, we began to have this negative energy throughout the team, and I was getting so much anxiety, which at the beginning I didn't even know what that was. This worry feeling, this feeling of like I don't want to go inside the studio. I don't.
Or worrying what people are thinking
worrying what people are thinking.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was, and it's partly because with Latin families, we don't talk about feelings. We don't talk about what certain feelings mean. We don't express feelings to each other, and like if you're crying, like my mom would be like, "You want to cry? I'll give you something to cry about." Like that's what crying meant. And so we were taught to, you know, toughen up, be quiet, shut your mouth and go to your room kind of thing. And there was no apologizing.
And I think even when it came, like, going back to what you said about, like, anxiety and stuff, we could never really talk to our parents about that. Because they just thought it was, like, an excuse we were using. We might not be as, like, stressed out as, like, what they do, but, like, we still have things to stress about, too. And it's normal to express your feelings. And that's why, I was telling you, like, I also think, like, with guys, like, I can't even imagine, like, guys, most guys, at least in the Latin household, they're, really raised to not show emotion, and you have to be a man, and you have to, like,
you have to be tough, you have to provide.
You can't show that something hurts you gotta wipe it off, like, so I feel like with women, we kind of do have a little bit more of, like, I guess, like, the past to do that, but being Latin,
it's more normal to show emotion.
Being Latin, it's still no excuse. Like, you still have to be a strong woman, no matter what, you know?
Which can be really hard because, again, I didn't know what I was feeling at the time. Which then, so I had lost my team, and on top of that, I had lost one of my closest friends that I had, you know, on my team. He was my partner, and we just had a blast. We went everywhere. We went out to eat. We just had a blast, and randomly, you know, he dropped me, and I didn't know why. He just one day texted me saying he couldn't be my friend, and I still to this day I don't know why. However, I wouldn't necessarily blame him because I know how I was back then as well. So I'm sure I had something to do with it. I don't know exactly what, but to me at the time I was like, whatever, he doesn't want to be my friend, then like fuck it.
Like his loss.
Yeah, his loss. Which again, I was hiding my emotions, which then started me going into my depression. So I was feeling tired. I didn't care about anything. My self-esteem was so low, and I will show you some pictures as to why my self-esteem was so low. And you guys may see some pictures, and like I know I'm a beautiful girl. However, at the time I couldn't see that, and especially because at the time I had so much acne, and my parents would always be like, "Look at your face. Look at all those scars, look at whatever." And so to me I was like, well, if they're telling me something, like they're my family, like what are other people gonna think? And so that really shot my self-esteem low. So it was tiredness. I didn't care about anything. You can even see it in my grades. Like I've always been a good student. I've always been, you know, A's, B's. However, I was not even showing up to class. I was sleeping in class. She knows, she was in my class. So what were you seeing on the outside?
I think, like, now looking back at it, I think you finally, like, realizing what it was. I even feel bad because I was like, shit, like, one of my closest fucking friends was going through something, and I never once saw it. But now that, like, I look back at it, I think of, like, times where we were coming home from school and we'd be like, you know what, we're gonna go to my house, we're gonna do some homework and, like, just hang out for a little bit, right? And we would always, like, clearly put on some YouTube on the TV in the den that we had. Chris Brown. And we were always like, what do you want to watch? Breezy. So we would always watch Chris Brown music videos until we both, like, knocked out. And it was weird because it was still, like, what, maybe 2, 3 in the afternoon. And we were just, like, that's what we would do, like, every Tuesday, Thursday.
And I think, I feel like, I was kind of influencing her because I would just knock out and, like... Because that's how tired I was. I would knock out everywhere. I would knock out after school. I would knock out at the kitchen table. I knocked out at the gym too, like, because...
You know what? Now that I think about it, there was even times when we were, like, about to perform and you'd be like, I'm gonna take a nap.
Yeah.
Before we would even perform.
Oh my god, really? Oh my god.
Yeah.
See, and that's the thing. It's just this tired feeling of not wanting to be awake, not wanting to interact with people, and I didn't care. And also doing reckless things. I would go out for walks at 3 a.m, like in the middle of the night, going out for a walk. Like, that's definitely not safe. But at the time I didn't care. Like, I just whatever. And I remember my mom caught me one time and she's like, what the hell are you doing? And I was like, and I just shrugged my shoulders and walked past her, which now, like, I'm scared of my mom.
I'm scared of her mom.
And so, like, knowing that I just literally just ignored her, and I'm surprised, like, she didn't get me for it. But that's how I know, like, I really just was not there. Going into now, stress management. Oh, mind you, I was in another car accident. So, again, keep in mind that's a second car accident, and it's going to come back in the end as to why I mentioned in them. So, second car accident, and now I'm in chiropractor/therapy to heal my back and my neck. Okay, so going into stress management now. So, I was like, whatever, I need credits. This class seems easy. I'm depressed, or I didn't even know I was depressed. So I was like, whatever, this class seems easy, seems the least amount of effort, I'm just gonna take it. However, that class literally like changed my life. So obviously all the techniques I'm teaching on my YouTube channel is what I learned from stress management, and on top of that, from whatever books and podcasts I've listened to after studying after that class. However, so in my stress management class, we were all given assignments in groups, and my group assignment was to talk about depression. And so it was two people had to present the topic, and then one person had to give a personal story. And I was like, whatever, I'll do the story, because doing the story meant I just had to talk and come up with something and not actually do any work and look up the symptoms and look up all that stuff. So that's why I just chose to do the personal story, because it was the easiest thing to do, because I didn't have to do any work. Not knowing that when I actually presented, so my partners presented all of the symptoms, all of the treatments, all of the facts, and that's when I realized that was me. I was depressed. And so when I started talking about my story, it was actually me talking about current things that were going on, and I started crying in front of the entire classroom, like bawling.
I think that's when it like hit you, actually saying it out loud. Which then I felt like shit, because I was like, dude, like, I've known her for so long, or at least I was like, do I even know her? Like, she's going through all this shit, and I felt like such a bad friend, honestly, that you were going through all that, and I was like, didn't once.
But because also too, like, I was so good, I besides being tired, like, I was just good at masking it. Like I said, Latin household, you just stuff your feelings. So now saying it out loud, it was like everything was just coming out. And so I was crying in front of the entire classroom, and it's awkward because everyone's just like, is she good? Like, kind of just staring at you, and I just kept talking. And it was honestly so healing to just, like, let everything out. And also I told them how, I mentioned how I had low self-esteem. I actually went as far as to breaking my mirror, because that's how much I didn't like to look at myself. So, going on, like I said, that class changed my life, and now that's what I study. Moving on, so I started to practice all these techniques, started to podcast every single day, literally every single day. Whenever I have time, I am listening to a podcast, I am reading a book, I am learning something new so that I can share it with you guys, because that class truly changed my life. Anyways, now moving on, now we're going into my car accident stuff. So I had gotten in another car accident. So it was like 3 car accidents, and my body started to feel in pain all the time. So it was my legs started to go numb. My head was excruciating pain where I couldn't like open my eyes. I was forgetting things. It just wasn't good. And I had been to the doctor 3 times, and they were like, no, you're good, you just need therapy, like physical therapy, blah blah blah. Until one time I was like, no, like something's wrong with me, like figure it out. And so they were like, oh, like you need brain surgery. So I was like, oh, so this is now going into my brain surgery. Luckily I had really been practicing, you know, my stress management techniques, and I had pulled myself out of the depression I was in. But now it was like, okay, now I'm feeling good, but now I have to go into brain surgery.
Now I have this. Yeah.
Now I have this. Yeah. So it was really hard, because that was at the time when they told me I needed brain surgery. I was actually dancing on another team, and it was samba. So it was to the point where I couldn't even dance, because it was just, when I started to move, it pained my body. So I had my surgery, and I'll maybe answer some clips of my incision so you guys can see it. I had my surgery, and doctor was like, you can't do anything for 2 years. You can't go to school, you can't go to work, you can't dance, you gotta heal yourself for 2 years. And luckily for my stress management, I was like, no, like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna sit on my ass. I'm going to do whatever I can. I'm gonna tell myself I'm going to really practice, whatever the techniques I learned to get myself out of, or healthy again. However, again, it was not easy. My friends would text me. She would text me. My other friends would text me, like, let's go dancing or let's go out. And it would make me cry because it's like, I can't. Like, my body hurts. Like, I can't.
And then I know she was just going through that. So I think knowing that that's both of our escapes, in a way, I was like, let's just get you out of just being at home and just sitting there. And, like, I was trying everything I could, because at that point was when I think you had first opened up about everything that you were feeling and that she was going through. And I was like, that's the only thing I could think of that I know we both love and that I know she can have a good time at.
I love dancing.
And then we have people in the scene too that just make it a good time.
Yeah, so it's just always a good time going out dancing. And so me seeing all my friends going out dancing and me knowing that I physically could not be there because I couldn't hold my neck up. So what they did was they broke a piece of my skull off and they shaved my spine and they put something in the back. So I don't have a back piece of the skull. So it made my neck really weak, my back really weak. And it had to do partly because I was born with it, but also the car accidents I was telling you about. Every time I had a car accident, my brain would seep into my spine. So my brain was crowding my spinal cord, and that's why I had to have the surgery. But see, this is why I started my whole YouTube channel, because it was like everything happened in such a short period of time. I had the car accidents, I had to do therapy, I lost my family of my team, and then I did my stress management, and then again my brain surgery, or my depression and stress management, then brain surgery. So it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, and I was like, oh my god, like looking back, it's like, how did I make it through it? And now I'm like, I am so grateful for the stress management class, and I'm like, the techniques, everything I've learned, people need to learn it, because honestly I wouldn't be the person I am today. And looking back, it's changed me as a person because it's taught me to be more caring, be more practice more perspective, practice changing my emotions, retraining my brain. Everything I talk about is because I went through it, and I think it's so important for someone else to go through it. And like, what do you think, or what's your take on everything that I've been saying?
I honestly watch her YouTube channels, one, because she's my close friend, but two, it's because I know it's something that she is studying. So everything she's saying and everything she's going through, it's not just something she's looking for on Google. Like, she's actually studying these things. And I think for sure you going through it helps you express it more in a way where people can understand it. Mm-hmm. And I think when you first told me that, like, you were going to start your YouTube channel, I was like, wow, she's finally, like, I think strong enough to realize what she went through and that she got through it. Yeah. And luckily she had people. That's why I was feeling bad that I didn't see it, but at the same time I was like, well, you know what? Maybe I was, like, one of those, like, friends that kept you strong. Yeah. I think for sure having people in your life that, like, even if they don't know, there's someone you can go to kind of get your mind off of it, for sure helps. Yeah. But I think when you first started talking about wanting to do a YouTube channel, I was all for it, because she's super, like, dedicated, and it comes from the heart when it comes to wanting to help people, because she's been through something, So I see all that, and I'm just like, I'm all for it. I agree with everything you've been saying, honestly. It makes you the strong, like, beautiful person you are today.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so after my brain surgery, and I started, I was going to mention this. After my brain surgery, they sent me home, like, 2 days later. Like, really, you're going to send me home after 2 days of brain surgery? And so they sent me home. Well, I was in the hospital, and they're like, my mom's like, she looks sick. She does not look good. Can you please have her one more night here? And they're like, nope, get her ass home. So I went home on a Friday, and Saturday, Sunday, and Monday came by, and I was in a rocking chair, so it would be easy for me to get up. However, when I woke up Monday, I was stuck to my chair. So I was stuck like this. I couldn't see, and I was throwing up. Throwing up like this, like how you even throw up like that. Anyways, I was like this, I was throwing up, and I couldn't see. and I could barely move my neck. Like I said, my neck was really weak. So again, and I couldn't walk. I had to use a cane. So my mom's like, what's going on, you know? We went to the hospital, and 12 hours later, they're like, you have a septic meningitis. However, those 12 hours like really just opened my eyes because, like I said, I couldn't see. Oh, and I couldn't speak. I was trying to talk to my mom, and it was like words like that, slurred words. And it was because my brain was swelling so much that I couldn't, all the functions were just not working. So those 12 hours really just made me so much more grateful for life, because I couldn't see for a whole 12 hours. I couldn't see people's faces. I couldn't see their smiles. I couldn't see everything outside, and I couldn't communicate really, and it was hard to walk because, again, my legs. So all this I went through was like, wow. So after I got better, I was like, okay, I'm doing a whole gratitude journey, which made me go back to people that I hurt. Like I said, I hurt some people on my team, and I went and I apologized to them, and I wrote them a letter, and I said thank you. I did this whole gratitude journey, and gratitude is, oh my God, it changes your life. So again, this is something I am teaching as well. But that honestly is like basically it. This is why I started my YouTube channel, because of everything I've been through and the way I have changed my habits, my thinking habits, my emotional habits. Now I can express my feelings, because when you hold on to it, it's just so heavy, and it does pile up, and one day it is going to come out. So I don't want it for you guys to carry that. I want you to always feel like you have someone, or constantly learning so you can manage it. But that is why. And I should have started with this, but again, this is what I wanted to do for Mental Health Month, because it is so important for us, everyone, to kind of just learn. Anything else you want to add?
No, it's for sure true, and I feel like, how can I word it? Like I think too, like when it comes to mental health, like going back to just what even I've gone through, my family's gone through in like the last almost year, like long story short, like my dad went through something, and it really was a toll on like all the family.
Yeah,
and it just shows like how strong you really have to be mentally to go through something like that.
Yeah.
And I like, it's probably super cliche, but like when people tell you to express your feelings and have someone to talk to, like you really should. Like I think I can speak for both of us when I say that we're the type of like women that try to like have that like that little shield of like we're strong, and like it doesn't hurt us, like it doesn't phase us, we're fine, like that person doesn't want to talk to us, whatever.
Yeah.
But deep down, like it does hurt, and I think everybody does. Most people have feelings.
Yeah.
So you should definitely have like those like really close friends like us. Like we don't even dance. She doesn't even really dance anymore, but we're still close as hell.
Super close.
Just have someone that you can always have to talk to about anything, and that you know is not gonna judge you. You know. Yeah. It is kind of hard to like be vulnerable and be like that with someone
exactly,
too.
and that's another reason why I'm talking about, because expressing feelings, that's a skill. That's something you need to learn. I never knew how to do that. And when I was like, I literally need to learn how to express my feelings, that just sounds so crazy, right? Like, but now I know, like your body's always sending you signals, and learning to listen to those signals, and instead of just ignoring them or telling them to like shut up, is going to really help you. So that is basically my whole story. Sorry if this was so long. I try to just do one shot, so it is authentic. We told you everything. I let you know. So I hope you guys have found something out of this video that's going to help you, or maybe my other videos. But my key is to reach someone out there, so that you guys learn to really just manage everything healthy, mental health set.
Yeah, and if they don't have anybody, you know, you can for sure message Kim or me, because we're both people that have been through it, and we are not one to judge. We know that for a fact. We're not someone that judges either, you know. So if you need someone to talk to, if you don't have anybody, you might just see us on YouTube, and I don't know, maybe even see Kim's videos and know that you have like that ease. Like even if you want to message her, I know she doesn't mind hearing you out and really, giving you advice.
Really, yeah. Also, I want to give thank you. I know I talked about my family a lot, but they are so strong, and they always support me. And even though, you know, I said that we have, you know, we don't really connect in that way. I know they care about me and I care about them. Also, my boyfriend, he was there for my brain surgery. Just while I was sleeping, like all day, he was just there with me. So thank you to him. Thank you to Tina. Thank you to my other best friend Alexis. Everyone was just there for me. So that is it. If you have any questions, comments, anything to say, please put it in the comment section down below. I hope you guys found this video helpful or interesting or any of that. But I hope you guys continue watching my videos and finding something useful. But for now, I am out and she is out. Again, this is Tina. Follow her on Instagram. What's your Instagram?
Just Instagram. Princess Justine underscore.
Princess Justine.
Princess Justine
I'll put a little thing so you can follow her. But again, thank you guys for being here, and I hope you guys are staying safe. Happy Mental Health Awareness Month.